Bismillah. In this video, I am going to solve Edexcel IGCSE Mathematics A, Jan 2022, paper 2HR. Number 1. A tin contains tea bags with a choice of 4 different flavors of tea. The 4 flavors of tea are Assam, Darjeeling, Nilgiri, or rice. Sarah takes at random a tea bag from the tin. The table shows each of the probabilities that the flavor of the tea Sarah takes is Assam or Darjeeling or rice. Work out the probability that the flavor of the tea Sarah takes is Nilgiri. The sum of all probabilities equal 1. To define this probability, 1 minus all. So 1 minus 0.38 plus 0.24 plus 0.16 equals 0.22. B. Work out the probability that the flavor of the tea Sarah takes is either Darjeeling or rice. So add the probability of Darjeeling and the probability of rice. So 0.24 plus 0.16. 0.24 plus 0.16 equals 0.4. Number 2. Mary saves for a holiday each year. In 2020, she saved a total of $720. In 2021, each month, she saved $78. The total amount Mary saved in 2021 was B% more than the total she saved in 2020. Work out the value of B. So we need to find the total amount in 2021. So multiply 78 by 12 equals $936. Now to find the percentage increase from 2021 to 2022. Now it was 720 and becomes 936. To find the percentage increase, subtract 936 minus 720 over the original, which is 720, times 100 equals 30. So B equals 30. Next, Roberto is going to go on holiday. He has 2 coupons that will save him money on his holiday. Coupon A, 18% off the cost of the accommodation. Coupon B, 12.5% off the total cost of accommodation and the flight. For Roberto's holiday, the cost of the accommodation is $1,600. The cost of the flights is $800. Roberto can only use one of the coupons. He wants to save as much money as he can. B. Which of the 2 coupons, A or B, should be used? For coupon A, 18% of the accommodation. The accommodation is $1,600. So 18% times 1,600 equals $288. So the cost reduced by $288. For coupon B, 12.5% of the total cost of the accommodation and the flights. So 12.5 over 100 times the total, which is 1,600 plus 800 equals $300. So he should use coupon B because the cost reduced by 300, but for A the cost reduced by 288. So coupon B should be used. 3A. Solve for y plus 5 more than 12. Transpose 5 to the other side by negative. So for y more than 12 minus 5 So 4y more than 7, divide by 4, divide by 4. So y more than 7 over 4. B, solve 6x minus 5 equals 4x minus 7 over 2. Cross multiply. So 2 times 6x minus 5 equals 4x minus 7. Expand 2 times 6x and 2 times negative 5. So 12x minus 10 equals 4x minus 7. Transpose 4x to the left hand side and negative 10 to the right hand side. So 12x minus 4x equals negative 7 plus 10. So 8x equals 3, divide by 8, divide by 8. So x equals 3 over 8. Number 4, the diagram shows a regular octagon and a regular pentagon, octagon and pentagon. Work out the size of angle x. So we need to find angle x. For any regular polygon, we can find the measure of each interior angle. We have rule n minus 2 times 180 divide n. So for regular octagon, the number of sides 8. So each interior angles equals 8 minus 2 times 180 divide by 8 equals 135. And we can use the same rule to find each interior in the regular pentagon, which is 5 minus 2 times 180 divide by 5 equals 108. So now this means the interior angles for the regular pentagon 108, so this angle 108, and the interior angles for octagon 135, so this angle 135. Now if you subtract, you can find this angle, the small one. So to find the small one, if we call this angle theta, so theta equals 135 minus 108 equals 27. Now this angle 27. So how to find x? AB side in the regular pentagon and side in the regular octagon. So this means the side of regular pentagon is the same like the side of a regular octagon. So this means BL equals BC, because BL side in the regular pentagon and BC side in the octagon, and they are equal. So we have isosceles triangle. So this angle equals that one. So to find each one, to find angle x, x equals 180 minus 27 divide by 2 equals 76.5. Number 5, Shane invests $7,200 for 3 years in a saving account. He gets 2.5% per year compound interest. How much money will Shane have in his saving account at the end of the 3 years? Give your answer to the nearest dollar. Apply the rule for the compound interest. The rule A equals B into 1 plus R over 100 power T. So 7,200 into 1 plus 2.5 over 100 power 3 equals $7,754 to the nearest dollar. 6a, write down the value of x bar 0. X bar 0 equals 1. So this 1. Given that 2 power negative 3 times 2 power 9 equals 2 power n, find the value of n. When we multiply two numbers with the same base, add the power. So 2 power negative 3 plus 9 equals 2 power 6 This equals 2 power n, so n equals 6. For C, given that 7 power 206 times 7 power m divided by 7 power 214 equals 7 power negative 3, find the value of m. Same, when we multiply at the power, so 7, so the left hand side can be written 7 power 206 plus m. Divide by 7 power 214. When we divide, you have to subtract the power. So this can be simplified to 7 power 206 plus m minus 214 equals 7 power 206 minus 214, so negative 8. So 7 power negative 8 plus m equals the right hand side, which is 7 power negative 3. Now base equal base, so same power. So negative 8 plus m equals negative 3. Now transpose negative 8 to the other side by positive, so m equals 8 minus 3 equals 5. 7a, write down an equation of the straight line with gradient negative 3 and which passes through the point with coordinates 0, 5. The general equation for the line y equals mx plus c. M is the gradient, C is the y-intercept. Now m, negative 3, and the line passes through the point 0 and 5. If x equals 0, so this means y equals c, so c equals 5. So the equation of the line y equals negative 3x plus 5. B, show by shading on the grid the region defined by all three of the inequalities: x less than or equal 6, y more than or equal 2, y less than or equal x plus 1. Label the region R. First, for the inequality x less than or equal 6, we need to draw the line x equals 6. The line x equals 6, vertical line, intersect x-axis at 6, so this x equals 6. So this is the line, solid line, because we have less than or equal. Less than or equal, so we need this region. You can shade the unwanted region. You have a choice. You can shade the unwanted region or mark X for the unwanted region, but you have to write R in the region which satisfies all the inequalities. So if we shade the unwanted region, so now we shade this region. With this region x more than 6, we need x less than or equal 6. We can do the same for the second inequality. The second inequality, y more than or equal 2. So we need to draw the line y equals 2. Y equals 2, horizontal line, intersect y-axis at 2. So this is our line, y equals 2. Y equals 2. So y more than or equal 2, so we need the region above the line. So shade the region below the line if you need to shade the unwanted region, as we did before. Now for the last inequality, y less than or equal x plus 1, you need to draw the line y equals x plus 1. Y equals x plus 1. So we need 2 points. We can put x equals 0, y equals 1. If x is 1, y equals 2. So 0, 1, and 1, 2, 0, 1, 1 and 2. Join them. So this is the line y equal x plus 1. I need less than or equal, so I need the region below the line. So shade the region above the line. So shade this region. So the region R, which satisfies all inequalities, the region inside the triangle. So this region R. Number 8. A scientist is investigating the weight of 50 tigers. Here is some information about these tigers. In the table, we have the number of tigers. For Siberian tigers, we have 22. For Bengal, we have 28. The mean for Siberian, 260. So we need to find the mean for Bengal. And we have the mean weight of all 50 tigers is 218 kg. Work out the mean weight of Bengal tigers. From the rule of the mean equals sum over the number. So you can deduce that the sum equals mean times the number. So if I need sum of 22 Siberian tigers, so just multiply 22 by the mean weight, which is 260, equals 5,720. The same, we have the mean for the 50 tigers, so we can find the sum of the 50 tigers. Multiply 50 by their mean, which is 218, equals 10,900. Now if we subtract, we can get the sum of 28 Bengal tigers. So sum of the 28 equals 10,900 minus 5,720 equals 5,180. Now to find the mean, we have the sum and we have the number 28. To find the mean of Bengal tigers, so divide the sum, which is 5,180, by their numbers, which is 28, equals 185 kg. Number 9. In the diagram, ABC is a right angle triangle and DEF is a semicircular arc. In triangle ABC, BC equals 24, angle ABC equals 90, and the angle BCA equals 30. The points D and F lie on AC, so that DF is the diameter of the semicircular arc DEF. The radius of the semicircular arc is 3 cm. Work out the length of A, F, E, D, C. Give your answer correct to two significant figures. So we need to find the length of AF and the arc FED and DC. We have right angle triangle ABC, and this angle 30, and this side 24. So we can find AC using cosine because we have adjacent and we need to find the hypotenuse. So cosine of 30 equals 24 over AC. So AC equals 24 over cosine 30 equals 27.7 centimeter to 3 significant figure. We need to exclude FD from AC because we need AF and DC. So subtract the diameter, so subtract 6 centimeter. So now AF plus DC equal 27.7 minus 6 equals 21.7 centimeter. Now for the semicircular arc, we can find the circumference, then divide by 2. The circumference 2 by r, divide by 2, so 1 by r, or by r. We have the radius 3, so 3 pi. So the arc FED equal 3 pi. Now to find the length, add 3 pi plus 21.7 equals 31 centimeter to 2 significant figures. Number 10. The table gives information about the population and the total amount of money in dollars spent on healthcare for 2 countries in 2016. Work out how much more was spent per person on healthcare in Luxembourg than Austria. Give your answer correct to the nearest whole number. For Luxembourg, to find the money spent per person, you need to divide the total spent by the total population. So divide 3.7 times 10 power 9 by 6.3 times 10 power 5. We can do the same for Austria. Divide the total spent by the total population to find the money spent per person. So 4.2 times 10 power 10 divide 8.7 times 10 power 6. Now calculate. The answer will be 1045 to nearest whole number. 11a. Complete the table of values for y equals 6 over x. So substitute x by 0.5. 6 divided by 0.5 equals 12. So just write 12. Then put x equal 2. So 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So 3. Same. Substitute x by 4. 6 divided by 4 equals 1.5. Now substitute x by 5. 6 divided by 5 equals 1.2. So just write 1.2. B. On the grid, draw the graph y equals 6 over x. We need to plot the points 0.5 and 12. 0.5, this one, so 0.5, the halfway between 0 and 1. 0.5 and 12, this is the point. 1 and 6, 1 and 6. 2 and 3, 2 and 3. 3 and 2, 3 and 2. 4 and 1.5, 4 and 1.5. 5 and 1.2, 5, 1.2. 6 and 1. Now it goes smooth curve. So this is our graph. Number 12. The diagram shows two vertical phone masts, A, B, and C, D, on horizontal ground. Work out the side of the angle of depression of B from D. Of B from D. The angle of depression is the angle between the horizontal from D and the sight line from D to B. So we need to find this angle. To find this angle, you can extend this line, this right angle triangle. Now to find this distance, 30.7 minus 6.2 to find that distance. So this distance equals 24.5. And that distance, 244. So this 244. 244. Now for this angle, you have opposite and adjacent. So you can use tan to find this angle. So if this angle theta, so theta equals tan inverse 24.5 over 244 equals 5.7 to 1 decimal place. Number 13, A equals square root 8 plus 4, B square root 8 minus 4. A minus B times A plus B can be written in the form y square root 4y. Find the value of y. A minus B, this means square root 8 plus 4 minus bracket square root 8 minus 4. You have to write the bracket. Now, open the bracket. So square root 8 plus 4. And this negative will change the two signs. So this will be negative and this will be positive. So negative square root 8 plus 4. So you can cancel positive square root 8 with negative square root 8. So 4 plus 4 equals 8. Now a plus b equals square root 8 plus 4 plus square root 8 minus 4. Now if you open a bracket, 4 and negative 4 cancelled. So 2 square root 8. 2 square root 8. Now a minus b times a plus b equals 8 times 2 square root 8. Now 2 square root, you can rewrite, you can put 2 inside the square root, but if you put 2 inside the square root will be 4, because the square root of 4 2. So the square of 2 4. So you can write 8 square root 4 times 8. So 8 square root 32. Now this number inside the square root, 4 times the number outside the root. So this means y equals 8. Number 14. A group of 60 students each sat an algebra test and geometry test. Each test was marked out of 110. The cumulative frequency graph gives information about the marks gained by 60 students in algebra test. A. Use the graph to find an estimate for the median mark in the algebra test. To find the median mark, find the order of the median, multiply 60 by half, equal 30. Then from 30, draw horizontal line till you reach the curve, then go down to find the median mark. Now the median mark, 48. So the median 48. B. Use the graph to find an estimate for the number of students who gained 58 marks or less in the algebra test. So start from the horizontal line, 58 marks, this 58, then draw vertical line till you reach the curve, then find the corresponding value on y-axis. Now the number 46. So 46. C. Use the graph to find an estimate for the interquartile range of the marks gained in the algebra test. To find the interquartile, find the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Upper quartile, so 3 over 4 multiply 60, which is 45. Start from 45, then draw vertical line to find the corresponding value. In the upper quartile, 56. So 56. Now to find lower quartile, 1 over 4 multiply 60, which is 15. Now start from 15, draw from 15, draw horizontal line till you reach the curve. The corresponding value on x-axis 40. So 56 minus 40 equals 16. The interquartile range of the marks gained in the geometry test is 9. Lewis says the students' marks are more spread out in the algebra test than in geometry test. Is this correct? Yes, correct, because we measure variation or spread between the values by interquartile. Interquartile for algebra test is greater than interquartile for geometry test. This means the marks in algebra test more spread than the marks in geometry test. So yes, correct, because the interquartile range for algebra test is greater than the interquartile range for geometry test. Next, to be awarded a grade A in the algebra test, a student had to gain a mark greater than 64. 2 students are to be selected at random from the 60 students in the group. Use the graph to find an estimate for the probability that both of these students were awarded a grade A in the algebra test. So we need to find the number of students gain greater than 64. Gain a mark greater than 64. So start from the horizontal line, this 64, draw a vertical line till you reach the curve to find the number of students 64 or more. The value which is corresponding to 64, this 64, the value is 50, this 50, 64 or less. So if I need more than 64, so 60 minus 50, so we have 10. We have 10 more than 64. So if we need to choose 2 from them, so for the first one, 10 over 60. For the second one, 9 over 59 equals 3 over 118. 15. Make t is the subject of n squared equals 4d plus t power 3 over t power 3. So n squared can be written as n squared over 1, then cross multiply. So n squared t power 3 equals 4d plus t power 3. Then transpose t power 3 to the other side because I need t in one side. So n squared t power 3 minus t power 3 equals 4d. Now factorize the left hand side, take power 3 common. You are left with n squared minus 1 equals 4d. Divide by n squared minus 1, so t power 3 equals 4d over n squared minus 1. Now we need t, so cubic root 4d over n squared minus 1. Number 16, the diagram shows quadrilateral ABCD. The angle BCD is acute. Given that the area of triangle BCD is 405 centimeters square, the area for this triangle 405. Work out the size of the angle ABD. We need to find this angle. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. We have area for this triangle and we have 2 sides, then we can find the angle in between. So this angle, if this angle x, so have times 45 times 36 sine x equals 405. Half times 45 times 36 is 810. So 810 sine x equals 405. So divide by 810. So sine x equals 1 over 2. So x equals sine inverse 1 over 2 equals 30. So now this angle 30. This angle 30. If you have 2 sides and included angle, then you can find this side. You can find side BD using cosine rule. So BD equals square root 36 squared plus 45 squared minus 2 times 36 times 45 cosine 30 equals 22.7 to 3 significant figures. Now in triangle ABD, BD equals 22.7. So we have the 3 sides. Now we can find this angle using cosine rule to find angle theta. Theta equals cosine inverse the adjacent square and the adjacent side square and plus. So 19 squared plus 22.7 squared minus the opposite square minus 28 squared over 2 times 19 times 22.7 equals 83.9 to 1 decimal. 17. Part of the curve with equation y equal fx is shown on the grid. Find an estimate for the gradient of the curve at the point where x equals 2. So you're working. To find the gradient at x equal 2, find the point on the curve with x equal 2. This is the point. Then draw a tangent to this point. This is the tangent. Now, in the tangent, take 2 points. Then find y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The first point 2 and 1. You can take the second point 4 and 5.6. 4 and 5.6. Now the gradient y2 minus y1, so 5.6 minus 1 over x2 minus x1 over 4 minus 2 equals 2.3. Number 18. The line with equation 2y equals x plus 1 intersects the curve with equation 3y squared plus 7y plus 16 equals x squared minus x at the points A and B. Find the coordinates of A and the coordinates of B. Show clear algebraic working. We have two equations, one linear and one quadratic. Start from the linear, get x or y, which is easier for you. Now it's easier to find x. Transpose y to the other side by negative, so x equals 2y minus 1. Now substitute in the quadratic. So substitute x by 2y minus 1. So the equation 3y squared plus 7y plus 16 equals 2y minus 1 squared minus 2y minus 1. You have to include 2y minus 1 in bracket. Now expand the right hand side. So 2y minus 1 squared, 2y times 2y, 4y squared, 2 times 2y times negative 1, negative 4y, and negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1. For this negative, negative times 2y, negative 2y, and negative times negative will be positive. For the left hand side, write the left hand side, 3y squared plus 7y plus 16. You can transpose all to one side, so you can transpose the left hand side to the right. Now 4y squared minus 3y squared, because 3y squared will go with negative sign, so 1y squared or y squared. And we have negative 4 and negative 2, negative 6, then minus 7, so negative 13y. We have 1 plus 1, 2, and negative 16, so negative 14 equals 0. Now you can solve this quadratic equation using factorization. Y minus 14 into y plus 1, or you can use your calculator. So y equals 14, or y equals negative 1. If y equals 14, so x equals 2 times 14 minus 1, so 2 times 14, 28, minus 1, so 27. Now if y equals negative 1, so x equals 2 times negative 1, negative 2, minus 1, negative 3, so x equals negative 3. So the 2 points, 27 and 14, and the other point, negative 3 and negative 1. We can call this point A and this point B. Number 19, ABCD is a horizontal rectangular field. A vertical bone, AE, is placed at the corner A of the field. AE equals 12 meter, AB equals 18, AD equals 8. Calculate the size of the angle between EC and the plane ABCD. So this EC. To find the angle between EC and the plane, from E, if we drop line, this will be A. So join AC. So this is AC. Now join EC. So we need the angle between AC and EC. To find this angle, we have right angle triangle. So we need two sides in this right angle triangle. We have one side, which is the opposite for this angle, 12 meter. And we can find the adjacent AC from Pythagoras theorem. So AC equals square root 18 squared plus 8 squared equals 19.7 meter. Now this side 19.7. Now we have the opposite 12, the adjacent 19.7. So to find this angle, tan inverse 12 over 19.7 equals 31.3 to 1 decimal place. 20. Y is inversely proportional to square root of x. X is directly proportional to t power 3. Given that y equals 8 when t equals 25, find the exact value of t when y equals 27. First, we have y inversely proportional to square root of x. So you can write y equals constant over square root of x. And from the second one, x directly proportional to t power 3. So you can write x equals constant times t power 3. So you can write this constant n. So n t power 3. Now to find the relation between y and t. So y equals k square root. You can substitute x by n t power 3. But it's better to substitute x by t power 3 because I need one constant to find its value. So t power 3. Now to find this constant, y equals 8 when t equals 25. So 8 equals k over square root 25 power 3. Find square root of 25 power 3, which is 125. So 8 equals k over 125. Now cross multiply. So k equals 1000. So y equals 1000 over square root t power 3. Now to find t when y equals 27, put y equal 27. So 27 equals 1000 over square root t power 3. You can switch between 27 and square root of t power 3. So square root of t power 3 equals 1000 over 27. Square both sides. So t power 3 equals 1 million over 729. Now take the cubic root to find t. So t equals 100 over 9. 21. The diagram shows a solid made from a cylinder and a hemisphere. The cylinder and the hemisphere are both made from the same metal. The plane face of the hemisphere coincides with the upper plane face of the cylinder. The radius of the cylinder and the radius of the hemisphere are both x. The height of the cylinder is 3x. The total surface area of the solid is 81 pi. The mass of the solid is 840 grams. The following table gives you the density of each of 4 metals. The metal used to make the solid is one of the metals in the table. Determine the metal used to make the solid. Show your working clearly. So we need to know which metal used: aluminium, nickel, gold, or silver. We have density for each one of them. So we need to find the volume of the solid, and we have the mass, so divide the mass by the volume, then find which metal you used according to the density you get. So find the density by dividing the mass by the volume. To find the volume, we need to find x. We can find x from the total surface area. To find the total surface area for this solid, we need to find the surface area for the curved, for the hemisphere. The curved surface area for the hemisphere is 2 by r squared, because for the sphere 4 by r squared, so for hemisphere 2 by r squared, and the radius x, so 2 by x squared. This is the curved surface area for the hemisphere. The curved surface area for the cylinder, 2 by r h. Now we have r equal x and we have h equal 3x. So 2, the curved for the cylinder, 2 by r, which is x, times the height, which is 3x. So this is the curved for the cylinder. Now the base for the cylinder by r squared, so by x squared. By x squared. So add them. 2 by x squared plus 2 by x times 3x plus by x squared equals 81 by. You can cancel by with by. Now you are left with 2x squared, 2 times x times 3x equals 6x squared, so 6x squared plus x squared equals 81. 2 plus 6 plus 1 equals 9, so 9x squared equals 81. So x squared equals 9 square root, so x equals 3. Of course, x cannot be negative, so x equals 3. You can find the volume of the solid. The volume of the solid equals the volume of the hemisphere plus the volume of the cylinder. The volume of the hemisphere, the volume of the sphere, 4 over 3 by r power 3. So the hemisphere, 2 over 3, so the volume of the solid, 2 over 3 by r power 3. So times x power 3, which is 3 power 3. So this is the volume of the hemisphere plus the volume of the cylinder by r squared times height, so by x squared, so by times 3 squared times the height, which is 3x, so 3 times 3, so 9. This is the volume of the cylinder equals 99 by. The volume 99 by. Now we have the mass equals 840. So the density equals mass over volume. So 840 divide 99 by equals 2.70 to 3 significant figure. Now look for the table to deduce which metal you used. So aluminium, because density is 2.7. So the metal you used, aluminium. 22. ABC is a triangle in which angle ABC equals 90. B and Q are integers such that the coordinates of A, B and 10, the coordinates for B, -1, -5, the coordinates for C, 8 and Q. Given that the gradient of AC -6 over 7, work out the value of B and the value of Q. Draw triangle ABC. This triangle ABC, right at B, so angle ABC. The coordinates of A is B and 10, so B and 10. For B, -1, -5. And for C, 8 and Q, the gradient of AC is -6/7. Now we need to find the value of B and the value of Q. From the gradient of AC, we can use the formula for the gradient, y minus y over x minus x, and equate by -6/7. So the gradient of AC equals, we can start from this point, so Q minus 10 over 8 minus B equals -6/7. Now cross multiply, so 7 times Q minus 10 equals -6 into 8 minus B. So expand, 7Q minus 70 equals -6 times 8, so -48, -6 times -B, so 6B. Now you can put B and Q in one side, then and the number in the other side. So 7Q and transpose 6B to the other side by negative. So minus 6B equals 70 to the other side. 70 minus 48 equals 22. So this is the first equation in K and B. We need one more equation to solve them simultaneously to find B and Q. We know that this angle 90, so the gradient of AB times the gradient of BC equals -1. Or the gradient of B is the negative reciprocal for the gradient of BC. Now the gradient of AB equals y minus y, so 10 minus -5 over B minus -1. B minus -1. So 15 over B plus 1. The gradient of BC equals y minus y, so Q minus -5, which is Q plus 5, over 8 minus -1, which is 8 plus 1, which is 9. So this is the gradient of BC. Because they are perpendicular, so the gradient of B is the negative reciprocal for gradient BC. So 15 over B plus 1 equals, now find the negative reciprocal for that one, so -9 over Q plus 5. Now cross multiply, so 15 into Q plus 5 equals -9 into B plus 1. Now expand, so 15Q plus 75 equals -9B minus 9. Put them in one side, B and Q. So 15Q plus 9B equals -9 minus 75, which is -84. And this is the second equation. Now we can solve them simultaneously. So the second equation, 15Q plus 9B equals -84. Now to solve them simultaneously, you can multiply the first equation by 3 and multiply the second equation by 2. So if we need to eliminate B, because this will be -18 and this will be +18, so we can add to eliminate B. So for the first equation will be 21Q minus 18B equals 66, and second equation 30Q plus 18B equals -168. Now add them, you can eliminate B. So 21 plus 30, 51q equals negative 102. Divide by 51, so q equals negative 2. Now substitute to find b. So 7 times q, so 7 times negative 2 minus 6b equals 22. We substitute in this equation. So negative 14 minus 6b equals 22. So 6b equals negative 14 minus 22 equals negative 36. Divide by 6. So b equals negative 6. So b equals negative 6, q equals negative 2. 23. The functions f and g are such that fx equals x plus 25, gx equals x squared minus 12x. The function h is such that hx equals fgx. The domain for hx such that x less than or equals 6. Express the inverse function h negative 1 in the form of h negative 1 of x equals. So we need to find hx first. hx is fg, so we need to put g in f. So substitute x by g, by x squared minus 12x. So fgx equals x squared minus 12x plus 25. So hx equals x squared minus 12x plus 25. To find the inverse for this function, we need to write in the vertex 4 using completing square. So x squared minus 12x can be written bracket square minus number square. Inside the bracket x minus half 12, which is 6, and write 6 outside, plus 25. So x minus 6 all squared, negative 36 plus 25, so negative 11. Now this is hx. From the vertex form, we can find the inverse. So to find the inverse for a quadratic function, you have to write the quadratic function in vertex form. Now, to find the inverse, y equals, substitute hx by y, so y equals x minus 6 squared minus 11, transpose negative 11 to the other side, so y plus 11 equals x minus 6 all squared. Then take square root. When you take square root, because the domain x less than or equals 6, so they take the negative square root. So x minus 6 equals negative square root y plus 11. So when you take square root, you have positive or negative according to the domain. If the domain less, so take negative. If the domain more, take positive. Now transpose 6 to the other side by positive. So x equals 6 minus square root y plus 11. The last step, h negative 1 of x. Substitute y by x. So 6 minus square root x plus 11.